I agree. Now, for those that don't know, dihydrogen monoxide is the scientific term for water. And I was just making the point that ask your friends or family, but put it in a carbon dioxide debate. Say, for the environment, shouldn't we have a carbon tax on dihydrogen monoxide? You can also give them the scientific name for salt. And 9 times out of 10, they'll say ban it. And
right.
Now you said there's about a dozen. There's the climate change bill, the carbon tax bills, the Clean Water Restoration Act. There's the rewilding. All these things you warned about, they're now trying to ram through right now because they think Obama's got control of the entire government. Tell us about some of the things that they're trying to push through.
Well, I think that the water bill, the Clean Water Bill reenactment is really dangerous. It basically puts... You're talking about our economy with the cap and trade legislation. With the water, you're taking control over water, which you need every single day to live. And if the federal government controls the water of every acre of land in the United States, it controls you and I, period. I mean, it controls our crop production, it controls everything. And as a consequence, you look at what these bills do, and every single one of them draws control over a basic thing in our society that we need to have to live. And once that is done, then the federal government basically controls us. You have no choice in the matter. You have to do what they say, just like they did in the old Soviet Union, or you're thrown out of your house, you're prevented from buying food, you name it. And I'm not saying it's going to happen next year, but they have that potential. They have the right to do it now once these laws pass. And there has been no time in all of history where a bad bill like that has been passed, legislation, been the Roman Empire or whatever, that it hasn't been abused.
Well, listen, I have the head I have the head of City Year, federally funded, these youth brigades in red and black uniforms. People can Google City Year and watch them doing their chanting and drilling. And where everything's so bankrupt now, you have to get a job with the government out of high school doing this. And it says, I have national newscasts saying they're going to have quasi-governmental groups, mainly young, stupid, ignorant, power-tripping young people. And it already has shown them on the news that say climate police out shouting people down like Mao Zedong's youth brigades. Actually, that's how they're modeled. And they even have little blue Obama books that they carry. And just like in China, I'm not making this up, I have the newscast, waving them as they scream at you. And already in Austin, if you park an SUV by Barton Springs, they are slashing tires. They're out there enforcing. I mean, folks, I'm not kidding when I say they're already here. And I have the head of City Year saying they're going to use them to enforce on us. I mean, this is nightmarish, Dr. Coffman. It
is. Brown shirts under Hitler, the Red Brigade in China, you name it. We're following the same pattern of all these despots in the past. Can't we see that? You know, we have been warning about it for years, decades even, and here it is. It's at our doorstep, and everybody's yawning. Well, not everybody in the listening audience, I doubt that, but for the most part, society is yawning, and I just cannot believe how they could be missing. That, everything is going to work out all right, honey. Don't worry about it. It's going to work out. Those people will never do anything like that. Well, I'm sorry, folks. History shows that those people will do exactly what we're talking about given the opportunity, and they are creating that opportunity right now.
Well, they say they're going to wall off all the major NAFTA highways and keep, half the... I mean, you've put together the maps off their own documents where half the country's off limits to us, and everywhere they get control, they are rewilding. They are all over the West harassing people off their own property. I mean, this is going on.
It is. It really is. We haven't heard a lot about it in the major urban areas because they have deliberately basically compartmentalized everything in this country so that we do not hear what's going on in another part of the country. I go and talk to different groups in different parts of the country, and they think that they're the only ones this is happening to. It's happening to everyone. And we need to, our property rights are being destroyed. You have the Kelo case back in 2005 that basically changed the Fifth Amendment from public use to public purpose. It guts the whole purpose of property rights protection of the government. I mean, you name it, it's been stepwise, one by one by one. Our protections are falling, and now they're cascading. I have never seen such a push so fast, so hard, as we've seen since Obama has become president. We all knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't realize it was going to be this bad.
Well, I've got it here in my folders. I'm digging around for it right now. I'll probably find it during the break, but hundreds of articles a week saying babies are bad. They have a big carbon footprint. Yeah. We need to ban having babies or put taxes on them. And Australia is actually trying to pass laws. They're getting rid of the baby credits in California. They're in women's magazines telling women marriage isn't good, breaking up with your family's good, don't have kids. I mean, this is a real culture of death, but humans have a hunger for life. I think they're going to have trouble implementing this. I mean, they're in power is what I'm saying. And it's one thing to pass the laws. It's another thing to be able to actually put this stuff into place.
Yeah, that is very true. And it's amazing. Last year, maybe 14, 15 months ago, 80% of the population here in the United States believed that global warming was generally caused by man. Not maybe they weren't a diehard believer, but 80%. That's down to 44% now. And people are beginning to wake up, and it's been programs like this and others that are starting to really sink home when they start to see Obama doing all these things, and they've heard our crazy comments and so forth over the last few years. All of a sudden, they start to see it happen, and they say, "Oh my gosh, maybe they're right." You look at the health care. 60% of the American people, 2/3, do not want to have the present health care in the House of Representatives passed.
And that's when they don't even know how bad it really is. Dr. Michael Coffman, stay there. Let's talk more about this good news, though. The people are waking up. That's why the establishment's kind of flipping out now in an orgy of propaganda in an attempt to batter us into control.